This video is brought to you by T-Blocks. Enjoy the content now, but stay for the shilling later. Welcome to Lobster Magnet and Friends. I'm here with my buddy Goro.
Yeah, that's me. What's up?
And we are here to talk about episode 10 of Black Clover, which ends the first mini story arc of, I guess, the series. Yay! We got to see them, like, the first Zabuza fight. And while we were watching it, you brought up an interesting comparison, how this episode kind of reminded you of, a little certain scene in the old Naruto series.
Yeah, it did. There's this one part where, you remember in Naruto, Sasuke throws the shadow shuriken thing.
Yeah. And
right
then,
at Zabuza, and as Zabuza catches the first shuriken, but then there's a shadow shuriken, and Zabuza jumps over that, and that shadow shuriken turns out to be Naruto, and he throws a kunai at Zabuza, and Zabuza breaks him out of this water prison spell.
Yep. We get sort of a similar moment where Magna uses his super fire spell, and you think it's going to hit him, but it doesn't. But then Asta reflects it with his giant sword, and that puts everyone on fire, and that's how they win the day! Yay!
Yeah, Asta reflects it from his sword from behind them, so they all get caught in the fire spell. Mm-hmm. So it was just like, man, that part felt like a huge ripoff from fucking Naruto.
For Naruto, one second, we have a special guest.
Special guest? Is it Asta? Oh dear.
Here's our special guest. It's Asta's voice actor. Captain Crunch here actually goes to Japan to do the voiceover for Black Clover. You can hear from his incredible tones that he, is the perfect pitch of annoyance that replicates the Asta scream. And he also doubles up. He's also in the show as that mascot bird.
Oh my god.
Yeah, isn't that right, Captain Crunch? You're a little anime bird, aren't you? Did you like this episode of Black Clover? Maybe? No?
I bet he doesn't want this job because he hates being portrayed as a human.
Yeah.
He should be fired immediately.
Well, he loves the work. He loves the... See? Just like the Asta screech. Just as loud and piercing as... Ah! All right, Captain, you want to hang out with this review, or you want to be, noisy? Let's try this out. Let's see if you, hang out at my shoulder and be a good boy. Here, Captain. I'm going to give you a reward for voicing another episode of Black Clover with this... God damn it, Captain.
Q-tip.
Yeah, he likes Q-tips. Anyway, back to this episode of Black Clover. So, do you think this moment was as cool as earned as the Naruto moment, where Naruto throws the Demon Star Shuriken at
No. No, not nearly as cool. It's like the Naruto scene was way more smarter. I mean, of course, if this was from the manga, this would have taken place over a much shorter amount of time. I could see it being
one chapter,
more feasible. That's kind of a neat moment where they already established some kind of teamwork together, Magna and Asta, where that moment where Magna threw the fireball and Asta hit it with his sword like a bat right at Magna before, but now they're using it as a way to defeat villains, and they sort of they understood each other right then and there. That kind of camaraderie is cool in some respects. satisfying to see Asta beat up someone with like a very dull sword.
Yeah, the giant hunk of iron that he just slaps at people. And he, like, throws it at the guy and doesn't pierce him. He just, like, coughs up a little blood. And then Asta gets pierced by ice and he's like...
Yeah. Okay. None of this damage, like, registers in my mind. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Is Asta getting... He should be getting impaled by those icicles, right? Like, it looks like he's getting, like, pushed back by ice.
It looks like he's... It makes me kind of, like, curious to see if it was, like, toned down from the manga. If the manga was, like, more violent and he has, like, a hole in his chest and they're like, oh, let's just have him, it boops him a little bit and then he coughs up some blood.
I just think this fight was very poorly choreographed. Like, animated and choreographed.
Yeah, it was not super exciting and, it was not treated very well. Like, My Hero Academia, like, has had some very basic bitch fights, but they were, like... elevated just by the sheer virtue of the animation staff. Captain Crunch, why are you being so loud?
Because he hates the anime he's working on right now. He wants it to end. Yeah, it's like end my life.
I don't even want to be seen with this crap. Why are you making me work on this terrible anime? You want to dance?
So
anyway, so your thoughts?
This and how many minutes of like extra filler content was put in here? There was just like not just like filler, but I'm talking about like the recap part of the episode.
There was like a 2-minute recap. There was a 30-second recap after the commercial break. Like the exact same animated footage that we saw before.
There was like a 1-minute intro scene. There's like 3-minute outro sequence, including the, what's going to happen next episode, the little joke animation before that, and the outro song. So that's already like 7 minutes of like non-regular anime content, and that's not including like all the other little filler bits they put in about like the old grandpa dude and like the
that
kids
was 100.
inspired.
I can't. He feels like a completely filler character. Like he just looks uninteresting and boring and like there's no way that the grandpa's like a major much of anything. So I'm sure all the like remember how great grandpa was is all filler stuff.
Yeah, I feel like we could have condensed this episode into like 13 minutes of like actual content.
Yeah. God, maybe I'll take it upon myself to do my Black Clover project. To see if I can like...
Black Clover Kai?
Yeah, Black Clover Kai. Just out of morbid curiosity to see if I follow the manga's pacing exactly, will that make it a better series? Well, I don't think it'll make it a better series, but will that, what will the runtime be? Like, how many episodes will these 10 episodes that we've seen that have covered, 12 chapters of manga?
Yeah. I don't know. I think you can even, cut 3 episodes from this. 3 episodes worth of content from Black Clover right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because, this is definitely still feels like it's moving at a snail's pace.
Yep.
Because it's I'm... Oh, God.
What?
God. I'm, looking at the manga right now to try and figure out how far they are.
Just, 5 pages in?
It's looking like maybe 8 chapters in.
Oh, 8 chapters? Out of 10, 11 episodes or something?
Wait. Okay, so this was I'm cheating if chapter 8 covers all the stuff that we saw. Yep. Chapter 8 covers all of it.
Shouldn't the anime cover more content?
Yeah, it should.
Per chapter? It should, there should be maybe 2 or 3 chapters within one. There should be 2 to 3 chapters in one episode of anime.
Yeah, I think so, especially for a 19-page chapter. Okay, so we've seen everything. We've 10 episodes have covered 9 chapters of manga.
That's sad.
Yep, it should not be like, you know, 1.5 chapters of content per fucking manga.
It's like the studio is like, yeah, we milked so much money out of those 9 chapters. Yes.
Yeah, we're such good
Yeah,
material. We're
we
making
really
the
watered
best.
down that cheap wine.
It does feel like, yeah, yeah. I think that's a pretty apt comparison. Oh crap. Um, yeah, it's like cheap wine. It's like wine that's been watered down that's been like touched down with water.
Yeah.
So, Jesus Christ, yeah, yeah. So this is like Walmart wine in a box that is put with water. So yeah, I think we're done with this as soon as Inuyashiki like ends airing. Then we're gonna stop watching Black Clover. Will the
Yeah.
series suddenly somehow transform itself before then? But what did you think of the big scene where like we learned that the villain is actually working for an even bigger villain somewhere off?
Um okay, like I mean that much I'm not so much surprised about, but like I like the overall goal of like the mysterious villains right now is just like to get some kind of shards, magical things to resurrect their master or something. That seems mysterious and interesting enough. Um, and I like how Asta got like one of those little magical shards, randomly from that stupid little bird thing.
Yeah,
It's nice.
that's what they were looking for, the mascot bird, aka this mascot bird.
Yeah, the one that's eating all your cords and like destroying your whole uh your whole setup. Yes, that one.
Aren't you just like doesn't everyone want a Captain Crunch when you want this in plushie?
Yeah, you should just dress up, just cosplay your bird as Asta. So like you can go to cons with or something
I,
with the
I would love that. Just get like a little wig on him.
little wig with like the Black Bulls bandana or whatever.
Yeah. And like a little Black Bull's little sash that you can wear around him. He would hate that so much, but
Yeah.
and they just have a little sign that says, "This is Black Clover's Japanese voiceover. He came all the way from Japan just for the sake of America."
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be funny.
So, what would you rate this? What would you give it a score of?
Um, I mean, there were some okay parts about this, but it wasn't. It's just the pacing, the choreography, all that stuff that I mentioned before. It just like
it
brings
just
it down
kinda,
so
makes
much.
Nah. But what about his berserk sword? Isn't that cool? He's like hitting the berserk sword and just like clamming people over with it. Not cool enough, is it?
No, I'm gonna have to give it like 6. I'll give it a 6.
I'll go for a 5. I guess you could say it's like a better than average Black Clover episode, but it's still not great. This is like should be like fun, breezy material that we plow through. It shouldn't be taken forever.
Yeah, I just see the potential of like how better pacing can do for
a series
a
like
show
this.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to compare it to something like My Hero Academia, because My Hero Academia's early arcs weren't necessarily more exciting. It's not like Bakugo versus Deku in the beginning was or even like the Shigaraki student raid was like the most exciting piece of storytelling.
Yeah, but the pacing and the choreography for that show is just like way on a different level and animation quality was way on a different level than Black Clover. Just knocks it out of the fucking park. It's like winning 10-0 right now against Black Clover.
Not to mention that it has like a great musical score. The My Hero Academia is like so much great musical tracks.
Yeah, that's true.
That help. Like have you seen the meme? You say run goes with anything.
Yes, I've seen that one.
Where they basically, they take that, like you say wrong song, they just apply it to different media, different TV shows and movies.
I know that one. It's kind of like the Guile theme goes with anything
Exactly,
meme too.
exactly like that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just goes to show you that, And is there any memorable Black Clover music?
No. No, nothing that comes to mind.
No, that's right.
Maybe it goes like, oh.
Right.
You know what? I actually, you know what happens? I always skip the intro because it's like it takes way too long. That's why we don't have any memorable
music. Up, and it's like, whoa, hey, hi ho, let's go.
Yeah, even then, even if we listened to that intro like so many times, I don't think it would grow on us. I think we'd become really sick of it.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. All right, so 6 from you, 5 from me. Another mediocre thing of Black Clover. Captain Crunch, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Captain
Asta,
Crunch.
say goodbye.
Asta, say goodbye with your incredibly screechiness. Oh my god. Okay, Captain Crunch said goodbye. So, thank you for hanging out with us. If you're any Black Clover manga anime fans, comment in the below. There was a guy who commented before and said Black Clover manga is 10 out of 10. I was kind of like thinking to myself, I don't think so. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10 manga.
Maybe we'll just have to switch the manga.
You know what I'd kind of love to do? Just like do reviews of the manga chapters, but like not read any of the ones that came before it.
Oh, you mean just like continue off from where the show left off?
No, not even that. Just whenever there's a new chapter, we just read it, but we don't even try and read all the stuff that came between it. Just see how quickly it is that we're able to follow it.
It's really hard to read manga like out of context sometimes. Just like it has to be like a really, really informative, really intention-grabbing chapter sometimes when that happens.
Hey, I've done that a few times. Like I started reading the fairy tale out of order, and I never went back to read the earlier stuff. Same thing with let's see, what else did I do that with? I did it with Hitman Kyoto Hitman Reborn. And again, the thing was just weird. But, I followed that when they was releasing that, and I never went back to read the earlier chapters and didn't care enough. And I was able to get the gist, mostly.
Yeah, that's something I don't think I could do.
Well, anyway, if you are a Black Clover superfan, tell us the virtues that we're missing. But remember, go get T-Blocks and see if you can get Captain Crunch, Asta, T-Blocks shirt. Maybe they have them.
Yeah, make sure, buy an anti-Black Clover shirt or something like that. Just like Asta's anti-magic sword. Maybe you can block, the Black Clover anime from affecting you by wearing that Black Clover anti-Black Clover shirt.
Exactly, and you can only get it from T-Blocks. The shirt, you don't know if it exists. All right, so thank you for hanging out with us. Remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it. Do you like clothes but hate shopping? Then T-Blocks is the subscription service for you. But I know what you're thinking. But Lobster, how is that any different than Loot Crate or the other subscription services? Well, T-Blocks sends you t-shirts, which is clothing, which is actually useful, unlike the useless swag junk that Loot Crate keeps peddling on gullible schmucks. And this isn't just knockoff brand crap. T-Blocks hooks you up with licensed shirts for all the stuff you love, because you need clothes. How else are you going to keep your puny human man flesh protected from the elements? T-shirts are useful for any occasion. Wear them, give them to friends, give them to enemies, knit them together, make a quilt. T-shirts are life,
And you know the best part? It'll only cost you $6.99. That's right, you can get 12 shirts sent to you for once a month for only $6.99. And you know what? If ultra cheap licensed goods are too basic for you, then there's also the Community Tee Block set, which features original designs from the best up-and-coming artists so you can keep that hipster street cred. But I'm here to save you even more money! Use the code LOBSTERTBX at checkout and you'll save 10% on any order. Be a t-shirt wearing god amongst mortals. Use the power of the most expensive seafood to get you the cheapest t-shirts now!